There are many ways to learn rhythms, and each person will find a different way into understanding them. You might feel the rhythm before you really hear it, or understand it written before you can identify the sound, or vice versa. And no matter what facet you get the hang of first, it will make the other aspects easier to catch on to. The most helpful method for me is the method in Dr. George Dimitri-Sawa's Egyptian Music Appreciation and Understanding for Belly Dancers, and it's the medieval circular notation method, which is what we'll show here. There's also a lot of other great information in here, so I highly recommend this resource. The many rhythms of rock sharki, aka danse orientale, aka belly dance, are different from the beat. The beat is the pulse that sets the tempo or speed of the music, and that can be divided into 4 parts. The downbeat is usually represented by the number and a count, and the upbeat is usually represented by the and it's halfway to the next beat. In between each of these, we have the E and the When you shimmy, you're hitting each of these pieces. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. On the circular method, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. The rhythms are patterns of accents set to the beat. The main sounds on the drum, the doom and the tek, are used along with rests called is to create these patterns. A rhythm will have a skeleton that stays consistent and will sometimes be played with additional decoration, usually extra text and rolls played on top of the skeleton pattern, although sometimes some extra dooms are thrown in. The circular notation method helps by bringing your eye right back to the start of the pattern, rather than needing to circle all the way back to the start of the line. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, versus 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. I've demonstrated different time signatures with different sized circles here, but that's just for the sake of demonstrating on this video. I don't know if that's an authentic method of representation of these rhythms. Here is the Masmudi, aka Masmudi Kabir rhythm, written both linearly and circularly. It's an 8/4 rhythm, and it sounds like this. The circular notation method can also help us see similarities between related rhythms. The Masmudi is also called the Masmudi Kabir, meaning big Masmudi, and has a little cousin rhythm called the Masmudi Sagir, which means the small Masmudi. That one's also called Beladi, depending on where the musician you're talking to is coming from. Masmudi Sagir is a 4/4 rhythm. And as you can see here, it has the same pattern as the Masmudi Kabir. It sounds like this. Beladi, or Masmudi Sagir, is part of the Maksum family, along with rhythms called Maksum and Saidi. Maksum is written here in green. It's structurally the same, but swap different dooms and texts, which gives it a very different feel. Maksum is very similar to the Falahi rhythm, which is typically played at 2/4 speed and has additional texts even without decoration. rhythm can be written this way, although it's a bit more clear as a method for even tempo rhythms. Here's shiftatelli on the center circle. This is an 8/4 rhythm. On the outer circle is the semi, which is a 10/8 rhythm. Semi sounds like this. You can hear how the more spaces, the more is are left in a rhythm, the more often there will be decoration. The shiftatelli is an 8/4 rhythm, and it sounds like this. For 9/8 and 7/8 rhythms, I prefer the clapping method taught by Karim Nagi, which is linked in the description. You can find the rhythms most commonly used in Egyptian music written out like this in Dr. Sawa's resource. And practice with them by using this method to help you learn to hear and feel the patterns in your music as you build associations between the way they feel and the dance moves that fit well with each type of rhythm.